Ever get the feeling we're only scratching the surface when it comes to our health? Like, we focus on eating right and exercising, but what about those hidden connections we're missing?
Absolutely. And that's what we're diving into today.
Today, it's all about oral health. But get this.
Yeah,
It's way more than just having a pearly white smile.
it really is.
We're going deep, folks. We're talking about how the health of your mouth impacts your entire well-being.
Yeah, the whole picture.
And we've got some incredible insights to share, all based on oral health, the foundation of overall well-being, which, by the way, is a fascinating read.
A real eye-opener.
So get ready to rethink how you view your next dental checkup, because we're about to uncover some unexpected links between oral health and things like, wait for it, heart disease, diabetes, even brain health.
It's all connected.
It really is. So I think a good place to start is, well, with the basics. I mean, we all know the mouth is kind of like the gateway to the body, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
But how does that actually play out in terms of our overall health? Like, what are we missing here?
Okay, well, think of it this way. The mouth is home to a whole ecosystem of bacteria, both good and bad.
Right.
And when things get out of balance, when there's an overgrowth of harmful bacteria, that's when we start to see problems.
Problems like?
Like inflammation, for example. Inflammation in the gums, also known as gingivitis, can be a sign that something's amiss.
And I'm guessing that inflammation doesn't just stay put in the mouth.
You got it. That's the thing about inflammation. It's like a domino effect. It can actually spread from the mouth to other parts of the body through the bloodstream.
So it's not just about our teeth and gums. It's about a potential chain reaction that can impact our entire system.
Exactly. And this is where things get really interesting because we start to see some surprising connections.
Okay, like what? Give me an example.
All right, let's talk about heart health. Now, you might not think there's a connection between your mouth and your heart, but research is showing a pretty compelling link.
Really? Tell me more about this.
Well, studies have shown that people with gum disease, particularly a severe form called periodontitis,
Periodontitis.
have a higher risk of developing cardiovascular disease.
Wow. So how does that work? How can what's happening in my mouth impact my heart?
Well, think about those bacteria we talked about. When you have gum disease, those bacteria can actually enter the bloodstream through the inflamed gums.
Right.
And once they're in the bloodstream, they can contribute to inflammation in the arteries, which can lead to plaque buildup, narrowing of the arteries, and eventually, an increased risk of heart attacks and strokes.
That's incredible. So it's not just about keeping your teeth clean for a pretty smile. It's about preventing a potential domino effect that could impact your heart health.
Exactly. And the domino effect doesn't stop there. Let's take diabetes, for example.
Right, diabetes.
Now, this one's a bit of a two-way street. You see, if you have diabetes, high blood sugar can actually make gum disease worse.
Makes sense.
Right. But on the flip side, severe gum disease can actually make it harder to manage your blood sugar levels.
Oh, wow. So it's like a vicious cycle.
You could say that. And that's why it's so important for people with diabetes to be extra vigilant about their oral health.
It's a win-win situation. Taking care of your mouth helps manage diabetes, and managing diabetes helps protect your oral health.
Precisely. And believe it or not, this mouth-body connection extends even further.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued. Where are we going next?
How about the lungs?
Wait, my lungs. What does my mouth have to do with my lungs?
Well, remember all those bacteria in your mouth?
Mm-hmm.
When you breathe, some of those bacteria can actually be inhaled into your lungs.
Oh, I see.
And if you have poor oral hygiene, meaning a higher concentration of those harmful bacteria, it can increase your risk of respiratory infection, like pneumonia, for example, or it can worsen existing lung conditions like COPD.
So brushing and flossing is kind of like a first line of defense for our respiratory system, too.
Precisely. And this connection is especially important for people who are already vulnerable to respiratory issues.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, I remember reading in the source material about the impact of oral health during pregnancy.
Oh, that's a crucial one.
Something about inflammation, right?
Yes, exactly. Gum infections during pregnancy can trigger an inflammatory response in the body, which can actually increase the risk of premature birth and low birth weight.
Wow. So moms to be out there, listen up. Taking care of your mouth is essentially taking care of your baby, too.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And speaking of surprising connections, this next one might really blow your mind.
Okay, lay it on me.
There's emerging research exploring a potential link between oral health and, get this, cognitive function.
You're kidding me. How can what's happening in my mouth possibly affect my brain?
Well, it's still early days in terms of the research, but some studies suggest that certain bacteria from the mouth can actually travel to the brain.
Travel to the brain?
Through nerves or even the bloodstream. And when these bacteria reach the brain, they can trigger inflammation. And that inflammation in the brain is being investigated as a potential contributor to cognitive decline and conditions like Alzheimer's disease and dementia.
So while more research is definitely needed, it's pretty incredible to think that our oral health could have implications for our brain health down the road.
It really is. And while these physical connections are absolutely crucial to understand, we can't overlook the psychological and social impact of oral health either.
It's true. A healthy smile can do wonders for your confidence. But what about the other side of the coin? Like, what happens when oral health suffers?
Well, think about it this way. Issues like tooth loss, bad breath, or visible gum disease can really take a toll on your self-esteem.
Makes sense.
It can make you feel self-conscious in social situations, which can lead to anxiety, withdrawal, and even social isolation.
And that can have a ripple effect, impacting your relationships, your career, your overall quality of life.
Absolutely. So when we talk about oral health, we're really talking about a holistic picture of well-being. It's about feeling good physically, mentally, and socially.
I love that. It's about the whole package. So, okay, knowing all of this, I think it's safe to say we should all be prioritizing our oral health. But where do we start? What are some practical tips from oral health, the foundation of overall well-being, that we can actually implement?
Well, first and foremost, the basics are non-negotiable.
You're talking brushing and flossing.
Exactly. Brushing twice a day, flossing at least once a day. Those are the cornerstones of good oral hygiene.
It's the foundation.
It really is. And don't underestimate the power of antimicrobial mouthwash.
Oh, yeah. That stuff is great for getting those hard-to-reach areas and providing extra protection against bacteria and inflammation.
Couldn't agree more. And beyond those daily habits, what you eat plays a huge role.
Absolutely. We got to talk about sugar.
We do. Limiting sugary foods and drinks is crucial because sugar feeds the bacteria that cause tooth decay and gum disease.
It's like giving them a feast.
And on the flip side, making sure you're getting enough calcium is important for strengthening your teeth and bones.
Dairy products, leafy greens, things like that.
Right. And staying hydrated throughout the day can also help by washing away food particles and bacteria.
So many benefits to good old H2O.
And of course, we have to mention the big no-nos. Smoking and excessive alcohol consumption.
Yeah, those are major risk factors for gum disease, oral cancer, and a whole host of other health problems.
It's just not worth the risk.
Yeah.
And finally, don't underestimate the importance of regular dental checkups and cleanings.
So important.
It's the best way to catch any potential problems early and get personalized advice on maintaining your oral health.
It's like having a coach in your corner guiding you along the way.
Exactly.
So there you have it, folks. Oral health is about so much more than just a pretty smile.
So much more.
It's a vital piece of the puzzle when it comes to your overall health and well-being.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Knowing all of this, what's one small change you can commit to today to improve your oral health?
Maybe it's finally making flossing a daily habit, scheduling that overdue dental checkup, or simply being more mindful of those sugary snacks you reach for.
Every little bit counts.
It really does. Because remember, even small steps can make a big difference in the long run.
Absolutely.
So take charge of your oral health, folks. It's an investment in your overall well-being. And as always, thanks for tuning in to The Deep Dive.
Thanks for having me.
See you next time.